Just got done eating a great breakfast. I'm all hopped up on caffeine from black coffee. So what better way to start out a review of two movies? A new segment I'm going to call Double Feature. So, let's get started. So like I said in my intro, this is a new segment I'm going to call Double Feature. It's just as it sounds. I'm going to review two movies in one review. One, I saw these movies both on the same day. And two, I can be lazy like that sometimes. Sue me. And just as you saw, I'm doing Venom and Halloween, the 2018 Halloween. So, let's get started. With Venom! So just as it sounds, this is Venom. It's the Marvel comic book character come to life on the big screen. Typically a villain of Spider-Man. Though in this case they decided to do a Venom origin story without Spider-Man's involvement. I'll be honest, I was a little hesitant when I heard that, because I thought to myself, Venom is very close to Spider-Man in terms of his origins. And honestly, they pull it off. They pulled it off in this movie. Tom Hardy as Venom is the standout of this movie. I freaking loved the relationship between Eddie and the symbiote. They worked so well. It's almost like a buddy cop movie in some ways, except one of them is an alien parasite that calls Tom Hardy names. It felt like a comedy in a lot of ways, specifically with how the symbiote talks to Eddie. He insults him and makes fun of him half the time. And I gotta tell you, when Venom is on screen, when he's like the symbiote, when Venom's on screen, oh, it is some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. He freaking looks like Venom. He has the gooey black skin, he's got the eyes, he's got the big creepy ass smile. Only thing he's missing is the big spider symbol on his chest. I think they made up for it with the white veins. That was pretty neat. And Venom just he straight up kills some guys. One of the very first things he does, he bites some dude's head clean off. Like, yeah. I think he did that to about a couple other people in this movie. Besides that, the plot is very generic. I found the movie very entertaining, to be honest. I know a lot of people kind of had problems with this movie. The girl playing his girlfriend, I forget her name. She was good in the movie. I didn't buy their relationship. They didn't really have great chemistry, in my opinion. We do get She-Venom in the movie at one point. That was pretty cool. And I'll admit, it is a little weird how she gives him back the symbiote. I mean, she is a She-Venom and she kisses him. I'm like, so is she kissing him or is the symbiote kissing him? And again, the symbiote's like asexual, so I don't know. The villain is Riot. He's alright. The way I see Riot in this movie, I see him as a symbiote for Venom to go up against. Not like that, he just looks like a juiced up, jacked, gray version of Carnage. Especially with his ability to go and make weapons out of nowhere, like just spikes come up, he can turn his hands into axes, which is something Carnage does a lot. But at the end of this movie, I was rooting for Venom. One of the funniest scenes in the movie is when they go into this building to go and drop some information off to his old boss, and Venom tells him to jump out of the window. But Eddie's afraid of heights, so cuts to the next scene, and he just presses a button on the elevator. To which Venom is just like, pussy. And the fight between Venom and Riot is very entertaining. CGI heavy, but when it's two symbiotes going at it, that's all I expected. So I'm going to give this movie a solid 8 out of 10 stars. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I just see it as a good popcorn flick. I suggest everyone goes and checks it out. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go to Halloween. So this is the latest movie in the Halloween franchise. This is actually a direct sequel to the original movie, getting rid of all the stories of those really bad sequels from the past. As it stands, it's just Halloween in the 80s and Halloween 2018. Which it should be Halloween 2, the more I think about it. Whatever. Basically, it's revealed that at the end of the first Halloween movie, even though Michael Myers did disappear for some reason, they actually caught him and brought him in, and he's been incarcerated ever since for I think like 40 years. He still looks the same, and Laurie Strode, this traumatized her. I mean, it really messed her up. She's now a survivalist. She knows how to shoot guns pretty well, actually. She is agoraphobic. She's afraid to leave her house, for those of you who don't know what agoraphobia is. For good reason. Her house is basically a fortress. She has, like, barbed wire, fences. She has guns all over the place, bombs, gunpowder. All these things that would help her should Michael ever come back, and she's been preparing for him to come back. Which it still kind of weirds me out, because he is like 70 plus years old. He's about 6'4". He wears a jumpsuit, boots. He's heavy. Clearly he's heavy because he's a big dude. There's all these leaves and branches around, yet somehow he's as quiet as a church mouse. How is that possible? I have no idea, and I know they wanted to go away from making him a supernatural creature, so I don't know, I'm just nitpicking there. This is honestly a really good sequel. I like this movie a lot. I saw this movie with a really good crowd. I saw it the day it came out, and there was a lot of people in the theater. I mean, the theater was packed. So many people. And it was one of those movies where everyone was, talking and interacting with the movie. It's a slasher movie, so people are just gonna talk through it, and I honestly didn't mind. I didn't mind that at all. We were talking, people were shouting at the theater, like when some guy goes to grab a knife, I just heard someone say, "Oh, you're an idiot." And it was just great. The crowd was great, and nobody had a problem, like, talking to somebody during the movie, because everybody was doing it, so it was just like, whatever, it's not ruining the movie for me. There is a little bit of comedy in this movie. I mean, like, a little bit. And I know I complained about how the comedy and The Predator ruined the movie and just kind of changed the tone. Thankfully, this movie, there is still a really good horror element to it. And you are on the edge of your seat at some points in the movie. And that camera follows Michael Myers around when he gets to the neighborhood. That's a really cool scene. With the horror element, an example is when he's about to kill the people in the gas station, he puts his hand over and just drops the teeth on the girl. I saw that, I was like, ugh. What the hell, man? So yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers are the best parts about this entire movie. Jamie Lee Curtis, well done. Just well done. One problem I did have, and this is either me nitpicking or I hope I'm not the only one who noticed this, but nearly every single male character in the movie, except for the deputy cop, is a complete and total doofus. They're just incompetent. To Laurie's son-in-law, to her granddaughter's boyfriend, to the friend of her daughter's boyfriend, to the granddaughter's friend's stoner boyfriend. Nearly every single one of them is a doofus. Like, the dad's making these really bad dad jokes. He's dropping everything around. And the granddaughter's friend's boyfriend, he's a stoner like a lot of guys in teen movies are. There's the stoner character. He's just getting high at worst possible times in the movie. Like, there's a scene where something bad is happening in the house and he's just outside on a motorcycle smoking a joint. And I'm thinking to myself, is this the time to be getting high? Just... Some of that stuff was stupid. And the deputy character. He hits Michael with a car. He's one of the smartest and most useful characters in the whole movie. And you kill him! And the deputy's one of the most useful characters in the movie. But no, we can't have that, so they just kill him. The little kid, though, in the funny part, that little kid is the smartest and funniest part of the entire freaking movie. You saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That kid, I mean, after something bad is going down, the girl tells him to run just as Michael Myers is about to kill her. The kid goes downstairs, yells to the girl's boyfriend, "Don't go up there, you're gonna get killed." I'm like, I watched that scene and I was dying laughing. I mean, the whole theater was laughing at this kid because he's like the smartest and funniest part of the movie. But unlike in Predator, where I said the funny scenes ruined it, this movie only had that one bit of comedy that didn't change the overall tone. I liked that. Later I found out that Danny McBride of Eastbound and Down fame is the one who wrote this movie. So I'm like, Alright, that makes sense. And there's another thing I have a problem with, and it's at the end of the movie. This movie has been out for a while, so I'm pretty sure everybody knows what happens. They trapped Michael Myers in the house. There are these spikes there. He's trapped in the basement. There's no possible way he can get out of that basement. There's no other doors there. This whole part is just there, and it's like these spikes that are preventing him from getting out. And he's just there staring at them directly in his William Shatner mask like this. They do something smart, and they light the house on fire to burn him alive. But at the same time, I'm like, he's right there. You have a gun right next to you. Shoot him! Right between the eyes. He's right there. He's not moving. You have the perfect shot to make sure he's dead. But no, they decide to light the house on fire and leave. And guess what? They cut right back to the basement just as the house is on fire, and he's gone. No body. He's not standing there staring. No body. He's just gone. How the hell is that possible? Alright, I know it sounds like I was complaining about the movie, but you know, every movie has its flaws. Some things are kind of annoying, while other things are great. And honestly, the good in this movie outweighs the bad. So with all that into account, I'm going to give this movie a solid 8 out of 10 stars as well. Yeah, I decided to give both these movies the same rating because I both enjoyed them that much. Alright guys, so this is the first time I'm doing an episode of Double Feature, and let me know if you like this. If you want me to do it some more, leave a comment down below. And what did you think of Venom and Halloween? Leave a comment down below and let me know. As always, there are links to my Twitter and Instagram accounts in there. Please subscribe and like this video, and other than that, peace be with y'all. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.